Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, you know I'd still be sitting here talking to myself. Now it's Friday afternoon, about 6:30. We will be live streaming tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. So I hope you guys can tune in. So we've got a lot to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to tell you, this offseason has been great. There's so much we've had to talk about on a daily basis, and it's been great to share it with you guys. But I started thinking, because you know guys, when I'm driving, I think a lot. And I started thinking about Darwinism. You know, survival of the fittest. Because if you do not adapt and overcome, you will die. And I started equating that to our Dallas Cowboys. Because when you looked at the offseason, when we had 21 free agents, and when we were staring down the barrel of a gun of losing Barry Church, J.J. Wilcox, Brandon Carr, the Glass Man, Morris Claiborne, you know, Terrell McCain, you know, and other guys on that defense. You start looking around the offense, and Ron Leary gone as a free agent. You start looking at Doug Free retiring. You know, when we looked at only having 7 draft picks, and how the hell are we going to stop the bleeding? How are we going to plug these holes? Where are we going to find just warm bodies to put out on the field? I mean, can we actually get to 53 men? Especially with the lack of money in free agency. But I got to tell you, now I did some videos on this, and some people said, you know, no, you're wrong. But I told you that Jerry Jones and this coaching staff and this scouting department have put together a pretty good game plan. They have done the best with nothing. Because now, instead of us just having warm bodies in places, we actually have Darwinism, survival of the fittest. We have competition for not just starting roles, but positions on the field. And I got to tell you, I love that. There's nothing I hate worse than when you just say, oh, that guy's a starter. That guy's a starter. Because that means, you know what? I don't have to work that hard. Give me a guy who's got to fight his ass off to win that position. Because, let's take example, Lucky Whitehead, kick returner. Didn't have the best of seasons last year. You draft a guy, Ryan Switzer, no relation to Barry Switzer, and you guys have them fight it out, not just for a starting role, but a position on this team as a kick returner and backup receiver. Let me see Imano versus Imano. These guys fight it out, and may the best man win. Now, a few weeks back, we were looking at, oh my God, Doug Free, the elder statesman, retiring on the offensive line to tackle, and Ron Leary getting a big fat paycheck on the free agent market. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do? But right now, you know, you got Dimitri Moore out there. You've got Collins. You got Chaz Green. Chaz Green, who's shown potential in 3 of the 30 games that he's been able to be on the field. But you're worried about him staying healthy. You let those guys fight it out and figure out who are the best men to play. Now, one other thing when it comes to Collins, because I get a lot of people out there who say, you're an idiot with a day job and a voodoo doll that doesn't know crap. And I've been saying all off-season that I think that the Cowboys will move La'el Collins to tackle his natural position in college and fill in with somebody else at guard. And lo and behold, Stephen Jones, son of Jerry Jones, has said just that exact same thing recently. Something I've been saying for months now. So we've got a battle in there for those two starting spots, that guard and that tackle. And I love it. You look at our defensive line right now, where we got 10 guys, you know? You got budding stars like David Irving. You got Taco Charlton. And then you've got veterans that are coming off of injuries, like DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, guys who have shown potential, but haven't been able to stay on the field. Well, now all of a sudden, instead of us worrying about just having warm bodies in there, we've got Darwinism. We've got a battle on the defensive line for making this roster. And I got to tell you, I love it. You know, when we're looking at our defensive backfield, we knew we had Byron Jones coming back. We knew we had, Anthony Brown. We knew we had Orlando Scandrick coming back. And they figured, well, heck, we're all going to be starters. Hold up now. Cowboys drafted 3 defensive backs. They brought in Carroll. All of a sudden, there were rumors that Orlando Scandrick was trade bait. So some of these guys may actually be expendable. So we'll have competition there. So I love it. Now, I wish it were back like when I played football a long time ago. And no, I didn't wear leather helmets, okay? I know you smart asses out there are thinking that or saying that. But no, I did not wear leather helmets. But when I grew up, football was a totally different era. I know I had concussions at practice, and basically the coaches would say, shake it off and get back out there. But I remember us doing what we called Tennessee drills. You'd have a running back, you'd have an offensive lineman, you'd have a defensive lineman, you'd have a wide receiver and a cornerback or a linebacker, and you'd have 2 cones about 5 feet apart. And what we did, it was the running back's job to get through there. And I played offensive guard in high school. It was my job to blow that defensive lineman out of there. And it was the receiver's job to blow that cornerback out of there. And it was live. It was none of this, no tackling to the ground. We battled our ass off to see who was the best player to be out on the field playing. Now today, you don't have that live hitting like that anymore. You don't have the tackling to the ground. And I kind of, for one, say I miss it. I look at the tackling today and say the reason why tackling sucks in the NFL is because they don't practice it anymore. They don't tackle in practice. But I digress. So again, it is survival of the fittest. And I can't wait till training camp to see who comes out on top, who shows the biggest fight out there, who claws, scratches, and kicks ass to get those starting roles. Because those are the guys that you want out on your team. You want to get guys that have to earn their place and are worried about staying on top. I gotta tell you, I'm as excited about this team as I have ever been. I've got good feelings. I really have good feelings. Now, I do have one concern for this team that I'll be sharing in another video. A spot where we haven't upgraded, but I'm hoping they hit the books because we need that to be a big improvement for next year. So guys, check out the live stream in about 2 hours and be safe getting home. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo. And I'm about as excited as can be because it's the weekend.